Life's never been fair round here. My grandfather, like so many of our men, went bravely to war. Some even faced Napoleon himself. Not all came back. And for those that did, there were no celebrations. No work. Just poverty. And in the factories, every new machine meant one fewer job and another family with an empty table. But what could they do about it? Vote? That's for our betters, my grandfather would laugh. But he never found it funny. The vote would never come for my grandfather. St. Peter's Field taught him that. The Peterloo Massacre. We all know someone who was there. All they were doing was asking to be heard. Instead, they were silenced. And when the cavalry charged, the first to die was just a baby. Even though the demand for reform cost some their lives, ordinary men and women continued the call with ever louder voices. But the loudest voice of all was the People's Charter. 3 million signatures, asking only for fairness and equality, and Parliament still didn't listen. The factory owners just do what's best for them and their friends and don't care whether that's good enough for us. So who's going to stand up for our right to a fair wage for honest work? The Northern Star says the people are not to be free. I don't think Parliament even see us as people, my father says. Workers are just part of the machinery, another thing to be owned. Life's never been fair. But all those people who've said no to us can't have their way forever.
Tell us again, why is he weird if he's going to stop every 10 minutes?
Because he's got a good head on him.
Has he? Tell us again.
Come on, John!
How long's this supposed to take us?
3 hours there, 3 hours back, out at market.
Well, it's going to feel much longer.
Won't feel much longer if you don't cheer up, Sam. Last time with a smile, my old man would say.
That's better. Must have been that big olive cup of tea I had this morning, eh? Should we crack on, lads?
No chance it'd be a fine thing. Have you heard this, Bill? He wants us to hurry. Can you hurry, John?
I can try, Sam, eh? I can try, lad.
Can you try, Sam? That way we'll all be trying.
Come on then, Sam. Come on, pick the legs up, lad. Come on. Hey!
Come on, John.
Get your hands up, you fucking.
Come on.
Come on, Sam, where are you? Come on.
Come on. Afternoon, Jim.
Hello, William. Let me see.
Will you need us in tomorrow?
I don't know. How George Stanley's been ill today, and I ain't heard out. Come in first thing in the morning, and if there is out, I'll make sure you get it.
Thanks, Jim. Gift of bacon.
William.
Don't say it, Betty. If I couldn't afford it, it wouldn't be in your hands now. You'll forgive us when it puts a smile on the old man's face.
I don't know. What can we do here, May? Sit down. Even his smile's sad these days.
Just like his bacon.
He does like his bacon. But how can that be high point of a man's day?
Things will turn round, love.
Till then, he lived for his work.
Things will turn round, love. You're the one who convinced us of that.
Well, that may be so. I just hope it's soon. We all do, of course.
It's not best bacon, but they told us it's definitely pig.
And it's not best bread either. It might fall apart at sight of bacon. You'd laugh at it. I'd dare something other than lard on it.
I've never heard a loaf laugh.
You've never had to bake one.
Sit down, will you? Sometimes I think you're longer in your feet than any of us.
That's noisy nearer than where you work, though.
Now then, how did I know I'd find you here, Bill?
Where else would I be?
At home, maybe?
A man must see his wife, Sam. It's one of the rules.
There seems to be more rules to this marriage life than a man can count. Good evening, Betty. Are you well? Mr. Smith seems as sprightly as ever.
Aye, that's just what we were saying. Almost what we were saying.
What is it, Sam?
Another meeting at the Weavers. Thought you'd want to attend.
To do your listening for you, Sam.
Well, I know he's interested in it. And you are.
Thank you, Sam.
Don't know what it's about, though. More of his talking, no doubt. Loves the sound of his own voice. Can your father make it, Betty?
Not if he's just sat down. Father!
Hi, love.
Bill and Sam would like you to go to Weavers with him. Miles Ashworth is holding a meeting.
That can go on, love. They can tell us later. I've settled.
You'll let him know there's out to be said.
Bye, Father. Won't be long.
chance.
Everybody, please.
Give him a chance.
Of course we've to get store first. And we will.
That's right. Not certain, but is it ever? Dr. Dunlop has agreed to meet with us, and he may take convincing, but I am confident we will get store.
Us already had a store, and that store failed. Where they gonna go now? Nobody'll lease this space.
We don't know that.
No.
Of course we do.
We don't.
Property owners are businessmen, and cooperatives aren't good business.
But not all businessmen are against us. Many sympathise with us. Of course, it's going to take time.
We've done plenty of that, haven't we?
I'm sorry, John. Of course, some of us are going to struggle. Some of us are struggling.
Aye.
There's no denying that. But it will be worth it. As soon as we have premises, we'll be up and running. The only way we're going to improve things for ourselves is through our own effort.
Yeah.
I think we all understand that, don't we? Bankers, manufacturers, merchants. They're not going to help us. They're too busy helping themselves.
We're not interested in politics, Mr. Howarth. Where's that got us, eh? One strike after t'other, and fewer jobs each time.
Keep your bonnet on. Whereas cooperation have gotten us and all. Every single cooperative has failed. From here to Bolton. There's people here who've seen them fail, one after t'other. Why'll it be different now?
It will. Look, this is more than just politics. We're not all socialists here, no Christian, nor we all Chartists. But we do agree on one thing, and that's that we deserve better.
Aye.
Yeah? We want a true society open to all, without discrimination. Social reform. Parliament won't give us that. Yeah, they won't even give us working men a vote. So we do for ourselves what they want. We can show them way.
But they're not listening, are they?
Why don't you just come out with it, John? What do I get out of it? That's what you want to know.
Well, why not? It's not Mr. Ashworth who'll lose his job, nor Mr. Smithies. It's thou, Standring, and us. We could lose our jobs tomorrow, and we're not the only ones here.
But we've got to keep on trying until we get it
But
right.
they're not listening to us, are they?
We don't need them, do we? Corps have failed, of course they failed before, but because the foundations have crumbled, and that's up to you. That's why we're doing it. We're going to do it for ourselves, and it's not about profit, it's about benefit for you, for your children, and for your families, and for the future.
Strikes ain't work. Protest marches, they're getting us nowhere. Look, we've to protect ourselves, and that's what this is. Look, we can look after ourselves, but if we don't do that collectively, then it won't be worth nought.
The Rochdale Society of Equitable Pioneers. That's what we are. A democratic organisation good enough to show up any of them bloody parliamentarians. If we're not together, we're nought. As Mr. Daly says, we all want social reform, better working conditions, better living conditions. And we might not agree on how to achieve it, but we know it won't be handed out on plate to us. We can make it work, but only with patience. Patience, trust, and bloody hard work! It's really the best we can do.
It's the best we can do, let me tell you, lad, and it was chosen from several. You know, I even had to put a new wheel on it myself, believe it or not.
Did you know? Who needs a wheelbarrow if you've no to fill it with?
We need a wheelbarrow, you daft apes. How big are your pockets?
We need a wheelbarrow, and we're going to fill it, Sam.
Aye, but with what?
With things, with our own things.
Things.
He knows that right enough, he's just acting the goat.
Oh, does he?
Aye.
Come on then, Sam. You take barrow, whilst it's empty.
All right.
Now to turn your nose up at.
Come on, Longshank, shape yourself.
Right, apart from the Manchester air. I say that, we're going to struggle getting this thing to Manchester.
You know what they say, lad? He's not without a struggle.
Come on, Sam, put your back into it.
I'll put my back out.
Aye. All right. All right. Of course.
Evening, William. Mrs. Cooper.
Hello, Mr. Butterworth.
Evening, Mr. Butterworth. Our shop.
Oh, good, good. Lively. Yourself?
No worse off than anybody else.
Of course. A lot of your friends are out of work, I suppose. Times being what they are. Still, Makes you a lucky one, eh, Bill?
Shouldn't be down to luck whether a man works or not, Mr. Butterworth.
So much your pioneers believe, I presume.
You've heard of it then, Mr. Butterworth?
Oh, aye. A real folly, if you ask me. Running a shop. What do you know of that? I mean no offence, William. You're a capable man, I know that. There's a natural order of things, and with good reason.
They believe they'll succeed.
Do you, William?
I know it won't be easy.
You've your doubts. Entirely understandable. Let me tell you, they can't succeed, and I say that without malice.
We've already raised a fair sum.
That isn't even the start of it. Let me tell you, running a business is not easy. There's so much can go wrong, and you've now to fall back on.
A lot of people would agree with you.
Aye, and that'd be sensible, William. Wild dogs.
They're just children from the factory, Mr. Butterworth. Some at Doffers. They're harmless. They just get high-spirited.
They'll do some bloody damage one of these days.
They work hard, you know.
Harder than they should have to.
You know, there's a place opening in my shop soon. I would consider you for it, you know. You're a capable man.
I've a job, Mr. Butterworth.
A job, aye. But a future. Consider it, won't you, Bill?
I will. Thank you, Mr. Butterworth.
Consider it.
Just how long is this gonna take, Mr. Howarth? We can't afford to leave our money with your notes at best. Subscriptions is what you needed, and that's what you're getting. Poor people's breasts, Mr. Howarth. What you doing with it? When are we gonna see something?
What missed?
We ain't
No
kept
much.
you in the dark.
Nobody agrees on out.
Said all there is to say. We want loan to fill store, but no moneylender will give us it because they don't think we'll succeed. All we can do is keep trying, keep working.
And all we can do is keep waiting, keep worrying.
We must remain hopeful. Tomorrow, John and I are meeting with Weavers Association. After that, James and I are meeting with Dunlop. It's by no means our last chance.
And what happens when they reject us? If Weavers won't support us?
Please, have faith. The money we've already raised together, that proves our commitment. £22 is a terrific sum. Much can be done with it. Sooner or later, someone will recognise that.
And store, Mr. Howarth. What use is money when you've nowhere put what you've bought?
We keep talking to people every day. All it takes is one man to see past their prejudices, their pettiness. It takes some convincing, that's all. But I am certain it will be done soon.
You're certain? I'm certain that no Tory worth his name will help you. All this Chartist rubbish, where's that getting us, eh? Do we have votes? Oh, Parliament? We're nowhere near it. All we've had is strikes and fights, and I don't know how many people arrested. Progress? Putting machines in factories is the only progress they're bloody interested in.
Not everyone's happy tonight. Making it sound like the money's already been lost. Who knows, maybe it has.
We don't all feel same, Sam. Some of us still have hope. It's all we can afford.
Aye, that's all we paid for. That hope. Now tell us who's come of it yet.
Yet. You know it yourself. And we're never going to be easy. We knew that. Right from the start, we knew it.
We're so close. We really can achieve something, Charles. You mustn't be downhearted.
Principle's there. They spelt it out this a dozen times. We open store, and from store, everything else follows. We share.
Precisely. You've said it yourself, Charles. Putting people's conditions in their own hands at last.
Principles are there.
We're such a long way off from that. All we've done so far, it's clearly not enough.
We're making progress, though, Charles. That much is obvious. Even slow progress is better than nought.
Speaking of which, how are we progressing with Hill? So I'll get him in, shall I? Who needs tall sailors, eh? And he's got a tab at bar. I hope.
The principles are there.
Yes.
It's a minor change.
What is?
It's a minor change, but an important one. Now hold on a moment. What do we do with surplus, and how do we share it? For us to make this cooperative work, it's got to be about shop. Well, we know that. So, fairest thing is not how much you put into cooperative itself. It's how much you spend in store.
Aye.
End of the day, shop has to be self-sufficient. That can only be start of it. Everything we want, it all follows that.
There you go.
We have to make it work. We raise capital in shop, and we reinvest surplus. Cooperative housing, cooperative production.
That's right.
Well, that's goal, isn't it?
It
Excellent.
And we can do it.
Aye.
Not only improve finances of ordinary workers, but improve social conditions too.
Aye.
That's right.
That's what we want, isn't it?
It
Now
is.
you're talking.
And that means cash trading, near credit. We know better than anyone else. You get what you pay for. Only difference between us and shopkeepers out there is we'll live up to promise.
Ah, we will. I'll drink to that.
You have to understand my position, gentlemen. You can give me no guarantees, can you?
Now can be guaranteed, Dr. Dunlop. Not on anything. Not the way things are.
But you know how hard we work. As hard as anyone. That much we can guarantee. If anyone can make success of this, it's us.
I can't deny your commitment, Charles, and it's admirable, really. But you have no history of success. Cooperatives, I mean. No history at all. And running a store? No. We have storekeepers for that, experienced men.
You have space, Dr. Dunlop. Plenty of it. We're not asking for plenty.
I understand that, but like you said, the way things are, you might have to shut down after a month. And where does that leave me? Finding a tenant is not easy.
Of course, but that's what we can offer you. Even if we do shut down after a month, at least we'll have paid for space. What use is empty building to you?
Oh, yes, of course. I led you into that one, eh?
You know us well enough. You know we're serious that we've raised our own money. You know we can afford to lease space. Not certain, but our own ambition. Our dedication.
I do know you, Charles, and I respect you. You know that. We disagree on many things, Charles, but you always do your best to find common ground.
Indeed. Not just out of courtesy, but respect. Same as you've shown us. It's the least we can do for one another.
But we can always offer more, I suppose. Very well. I have a place on Toad Lane, a warehouse.
Number 31.
Yes, but it'll need work if it's to be a store, Charles. Will you be able to do that?
Yes, of course. We'll make sure of it.
Very well. You've earned your chance, even though some will disagree. I wish you success, gentlemen.
Does that look like a shop to you? Yes. We have to change it. Who wants to take these doors off the hinges and get rid of them?
But the expense, Charles, can we afford it?
I think so.
Oh, you're right. It has to be done.
Aye.
This is just not suitable.
Aye, but we still have to think of costs. You know, we're spending money quickly here. And we still ain't bought stock yet.
I know. But it's necessary.
Aye. It is.
Subscriptions. Can't argue with that.
Till someone forgets pay. Even then.
Even then.
Even then. It's Still have to fill shop. Got to find someone's shop there.
Why wouldn't they shop there?
Aye, why wouldn't they?
Well, 'cause they've not worth buying.
Well, there's now to buy. You're a wholesaler, Martin.
Yes, but if they've subscriptions, if they've brass.
Yes, yes, I know. Martin. They might get brass, might even get shop. They'll have now to fill it with. That's the point. You're a wholesaler, Martin. Really, it's up to you, isn't it? They need you.
They do.
And you've got more than enough shops to provide for, don't you? We're called establishments for a reason, Martin.
Of course. That's a folly. You said it, I know. We all agree.
Good. Good. Then we all agree.
Cooper!
Sorry, Mrs. Croft.
Is Charles Howarth or John Holt in there?
I don't know, Mrs. Croft.
Well, where are they then, if they're not in their social institute? Weavers?
Have you looked in, Mrs. Croft?
Me? No, I've not been in there.
Sorry then, I don't know.
Oh, you're sorry. They're keeping out of people's way, they are.
I'm sure that's not the case.
Well, how come I can't find them then?
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know much, do you, William Cooper? Or should I ask your Betty? She seems to have all your answers, doesn't she? Do you know what Mr. Butterworth says? And Mr. Leach as well. And they're two fine gentlemen. They say that your shop will never have a thing to sell. You've got our money, William. And now it's happening.
Everyone's working very hard to make sure that shop gets filled.
Oh, William. We've got less than ever. And you're taking our money and then you're making us wait. You're making fools of the lot of us. Now, no more of your nonsense. And people will know. I'll make sure of it. That shop of yours will never have a thing to sell. All our money wasted on Charles Howard's folly.
Can I have an half, please? Any news from wholesalers?
Mr. Howarth's still there now.
I thought getting store would be a difficult part, but these wholesalers, they're impossible.
Well, if anyone can convince them, Mr. Howarth can.
How did you manage it?
I didn't do a thing. He just stood up, put his coat on. I said, Daddy, come in. Well, come in where, I said. You do look pale, William. He's not a ghost, I can assure you. He's just been taken over by a spirit of one.
I think I've seen a ghost, Betty, but not your father.
William, I don't understand.
Sorry. I ran into Mrs. Croft.
Well, it's worse than a ghost. Anyway, wasn't it the other way around? She's always just running into people, usually when she has something to say to them.
She had no need to run into me. She was shouting the whole street down.
Yes, that's Mrs. Croft. She'll whisper, just between us, and then talk loud enough for 10 people to hear. She has to, otherwise we'd take any notice.
She as good as called us thieves, Betty.
What nonsense! She knows how hard everyone's working. Take no notice of her. Everyone knows Mrs. Croft.
She thinks we failed already, and people believe her.
Some people might, but not these people in here. Something good must be happening when even my father has made it out. Just forget about Mrs. Croft. Go on, sit down with Ghost. Might even cheer you up. God knows it's an unusual day when you can say that.
William?
Good to see you, Mr. Smith. How are you?
Well, shan't complain, Bill. Even though I could. Betty says things will pick up.
Sure they will.
Oh, yeah. Well, they don't look it, Bill, I must say.
Sorry. It's just... Do you know Mrs. Croft?
Oh, yeah. She has her effect on folk. Bloody tiresome woman.
I hope you're not talking about me.
No, the Croft woman.
Oh, William. Take no notice of her, I said.
I know.
What is it, William?
How many do you think it would take? If just a few pulled out, it would ruin the whole thing. Not even sure I'd blame them if they did pull out.
What? You don't mean that, William.
Look around you. Go out in the street. Who can afford to wait for a dream, an idea? People need that money. We need it. And your father...
It's not up to other people to tell us what we need. We paid our money gladly. We'd pay even more if we had it. Yes, it's a dream. But it's a virtuous one.
But it's all waiting. Waiting for subscriptions, shop, loan, and now wholesalers. They're set against it, Betty. Everyone is.
Obstacles. That's all. I'm still hopeful. Where's your hope, William?
Mr. Smith. Charles? It's good to see you. Evening, William. Betty?
Evening, Mr. Ashworth.
How was it today?
Have we spoken to every wholesaler, Charles? Will none deal with us?
None. Yet. It's businesses. They're putting pressure on wholesalers.
Why do we even need wholesalers?
Well...
Pardon me. I didn't mean to...
Nay, it's all right, Betty. I quite understand your point. It's just...
Market, Betty. Manchester Market.
Manchester Market.
Now, why didn't you think of that?
Mr. Smith, will people never cease to amaze? When all hope is gone.
But how can we do it? We don't have means to bring out back.
That's true. We need all the money just to buy some goods. Even with that, we're not likely to fill store.
Samuel and me, we'll take a barrow. It'll save us money on cab and we'll be faster than most. We'll still be ready in time.
We'll make sure of it. We have enough time, I think, if we open late. What do you think, James?
It'll have to be that way regardless. If we open at 8 in the evening, then nobody should miss out.
And on a Saturday too. We'll be open for all.
Are you sure you want to take Sam with you?
Are you sure Sam will want to go?
Nay, I'll just have to remind him that his money's in it too.
Now, John Holt. He's a good man. You should go here. He's got a good head for numbers and doesn't mind an argument.
Walking to Manchester. Sam will not like it. I don't know who I pity most.
No, this is not the art, Sam.
No, it comes of it.
Bloody hell, Samuel. If they knows them so well, what does our manufacturer think? What does our factory owner think, eh?
What?
Listen, they think they're producers of their own wealth, but that's their arrogance. Because we're producers at wealth. They're the ones that benefit from it.
Well, it's just the way it is, though, isn't it, John? It's the way it always has been, always will be.
All right. I just want to keep it that way. Aye.
Of course not.
Now listen, hey, come here. If we want to change things, we must change it ourselves. From bottom up, right to top. Bloody French way of thinking, my wife says. Well, maybe it is. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, why?
I mean, I'm sure she'd agree. Maybe she won't go as far as open the heads. But then again, with her, I don't know.
Are you sure you're not French, John? Do you know what? I agree with your wife.
Well, it won't be the first, lad. She's a sharp lady. You know, I can
Just
tell
being
you.
realistic, John.
My missus, she's like thee. She's a cynic.
Someone has to be.
Ah, see?
That's ridiculous.
Aye, and that's very English, is that, Sam? We like the disruptive voice.
Aye.
It gets us somewhere. But at the end of the day, same as you, our heart's not in it. Eh? Where there's heart, there's hope. And don't tell me they ain't got heart, because I know you have. And anyway, optimists live longer.
That is optimistic, innit?
Ah, yes, see, that's right, see? Don't worry, lad. Yeah, you can tell me I'm wrong if you like.
Thank you. Do you know what? You're wrong.
Ah, see, that's right, Samuel Ashworth. They made a joke, Sam, that's the way. You see, you can paint your heart as black as you like, but your blood still runs red the same as us. You can kid yourself, lad, but you can't kid us. You all right, son? Good lad.
Well, someone has to keep your feet on the ground, John.
You don't have to worry about that. My belly does that for me, son. So you don't have to.
Take it off.
Admit it or don't.
Good, this bill.
We know already. Everyone knows, Sam. You're either with us or you're against us. And here you are. You trust your friends, Sam, and they trust thee. That's why they're bloody friends, eh?
So you're saying they'll have any more credit from you then, Michael?
Give it a week and they'll all be back. All enterprise is uncertain.
What can they possibly achieve?
Without capital, not a thing. It's just what I told them, Martin. They think brass just flows to us naturally. They're not out at industry, not at all. Because they've read a book. Really.
Enough of them, I doubt. Mark my words, that doubt is the only intelligent thing I've ever heard from them. Anyone can read a damn book.
It's all a lot of nonsense. It's competition that succeeds. Competition built Rochdale, built the whole of Lancashire.
Make 'em read a book history, rather than one of them books with naught but ideas. Bloody foreign ideas at that. History'll teach 'em. Sooner they realise that, the better.
With a wholesaler, they've got knout. What do they know as shops? A business. A weaver's a weaver, and a weaver's wife, well, they're just wives, aren't they? But maybe we can help them along with it, eh, Martin? Hello, John. Mrs. Shackle.
Mr. Butterworth. Mr. Leach.
I'm just saying, Mrs. Shackle. Awful shame, isn't it? Well, all this business about wholesalers. What, you mean they haven't told you? That can't be right, surely, Mr. Leach.
They talk of principles, Mr. Butterworth. Fine idea.
Here, Harry. Have they heard about this?
What's that, Ruth?
All this business with wholesalers.
No, what?
Wholesalers just don't want to deal with the society, John. It's as simple as that. However much money you've put into this scheme, it's wholesalers who lose out in the end.
Just not risk we can take. Do they have money they say? We just can't be certain.
So are they saying they haven't any money?
They have got money, Mr. Butterworth. They've got our money.
But the renovations, Mrs. Croft.
Not cheap at all.
If you don't mind my saying, John, doors of shop may open, but they'll have naught fill it with. I wouldn't keep my money with them.
It's an expensive business, you know, shopkeeping. And with no goods, well, it can only lose money.
Your money, John. People's money. Your friends.
Yeah, I spent an awful lot of money on that shop, Mr. Butterworth.
Aye, and on shop front too. Looks like a lot of work went into it. If I know my business, I say they have very little left, if anything at all.
Nobody knows business better than you.
But it ain't my place to say. Only because you've been such a good customer of mine, Mrs. Shackle. I value that. I'd hate to see you lose out.
Nay, Mr. Butterworth. I do thank thee. I think we must be going.
Aye.
Now sell, Charles.
You know that, John. We're working on it.
Oh, aye. And if I don't believe thee?
Why wouldn't you believe him?
Because you've got no money left. You spent it all on shop, and now there's naught left.
Who told you that? It's not true.
I don't believe thee. When they're stood in a dark store with out on shelves, they can't even afford to light the damn place.
It's not a question of money. It's wholesalers. They're giving us nout.
And can you blame them, eh? It's not a shop, it's just an empty room. Now I want my contributions back. It's money I can't afford to waste.
Aye. Money we can't afford to let thee waste for us.
But you know we need notice for that.
Nay. It's fine, Mr. Smithies. If they want the money back, well, it's their money.
You haven't got it, have you?
Of course we have, Mrs. Croft. The bag, Mr. Smithies? Excuse me, Mrs. Croft. Thank you. Now, Mrs. Croft. Mrs. Croft, you had 12 shillings with us just now, is that it?
Aye, that's right.
Mr. Shackle, 8 shilling threepence aimney exactly.
Aye.
Mrs. Croft? John?
I mean?
Take your money if you want, John. But really, you must be able to see we're going to make this work.
I mean they're not broke?
Well, there's your money, John.
Well, really, I won't be needing it just yet, Mr. Daly. Nay, they keep it.
James, what just happened there?
All change we had?
At least I now know what an heart attack feels like, eh? Go.
boys, Carrots, sir. Carrots. Look, a minute.
Look, here, these apples here, fresh. They don't grow on trees, you know.
Come on, ladies.
Oatmeal.
Sugar. Right. Candles, just need butter and flour.
Sam's getting butter. How are we getting these back, Rochdale, John?
Well, there's favours in there, that's plenty.
Aye.
Always remember, Bill, now we out of struggle. That's what they say, innit? No gain, no pain. Or is it the other way around? Oh, Bill, what's this? Oh, this is no good. Look, Bill, always check it, lad.
I'm sorry, John, I just didn't think.
Well, don't worry, lad, it just means you're a trusting fella, that's all. We can't take that back. Where'd you get it from? Which stall?
First stall down on the right. Here, let me take it.
No, you leave it to me. You watch the gear. I'll sort this out.
Hang up.
All right.
Where's John?
Come on.
Yeah, I can see that it's oatmeal, sir, but it's oatmeal with chalk in it and frozen shells. I mean, that's not how it normally comes, is it?
Not usually, no.
Yeah, only on that occasion, when the man that's buying it's not wearing a silk cap to an handkerchief and a silver top cane, eh? I mean, you look at my friend, because he's got mud on his shoes, you think you can sell him any old rubbish. I'll tell you what, lad, there's a worse looking man than he is, and yet he still comes to buy from me, does he not, eh? You've got a face only a mother could love. I mean, no offence, like. Where would it be if we just judge people on their appearances? Eh? I know where you'd be.
Look, he bought it sharp enough, he never specified.
Oh, pardon my ignorance. I didn't realise that tarnish was a variety of oatmeal. So now I'm specifying. We paid for untarnished goods. Paid for with brass, which was probably harder than 9, I'll wager. Don't be coming here, sir, unless you want to buy tarnished goods. I mean, this man, if you want tarnished goods, this is the place to come. This man only supplies tarnished goods. Here are tarnished goods! Anybody now, get your tarnished goods? Anywhere now, tarnished goods in many varieties.
Look, we've replaced it for you.
Thank you very much, sir. If only all salesmen was as honest as they, lad, eh? The world would be a better place.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to you,
Good
sir.
afternoon to you, sir. All right, flour, lads, we want.
Aye.
And then it's home. We have a shop to run.
Got a nice walk to look forward to. Can you manage, Bill?
Aye.
Only 15 miles back.
How'd it go?
As expected. We've no gas. At least not for tonight.
Huh?
Keep hearing same objections.
Something's going on out there.
Been alright, isn't it?
Aye.
In the end, good laugh. Better if you two weren't here.
A good laugh. You've not stopped bowling for the last 20 miles.
You good, John? How you doing with that?
Of course he's alright, it's downhill.
I'm all right, mate. I think I might need a new pair of shoes now, though.
You call that a stop? There's no in it, unless they're selling up, mate.
First time I've been happy seeing bloody children.
My wife found out they worked at factories. She asked us what they do. Cause a bloody nuisance, I said.
Bloody players want social reform and they can't even reform their own damn children.
Hey, how much you reckon it'd cost if we paid one chuck a stone through window shilling?
A groat. Not even that.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Right, it's a bit dark, Charles.
There's no gas, John.
Right, Sam, they've got candles. Let's have some light on the subject, eh? Well, what does think?
I think we'll soon have a shop, John.
Mr. Daly, Mr. Smithies, the shutters, if they wouldn't mind.
Not like making it official, eh, Charles?